So the Child Safety Project it's been really important that at this stage we formalise a lot of the processes and practices that have been in place and we get a common understanding. There are so many changes that have just moved into the way we operate in schools over years. And sometimes we think, well, we've been doing that for years. It's always been like that. But to be intentional about child safety is really important.
So with this introduction of the standards, I think the last standard about empowerment really fits my role. So I work one-on-one with kids to give them the language to go back into situations where they're feeling uncomfortable or unsafe or they're unsure how to go about negotiating the situation. So I work with kids in that role a lot.
Sometimes we take for granted, or we can take for granted, that nobody would intentionally hurt a child, or we think that people wouldn't intentionally hurt a child. And that stops us from being intentional about protecting children and giving children voice so that they can protect themselves, empowering them to protect themselves.
I work with kids on the little things, even though we have the policies and procedures and standards in place. It's the everyday things that are happening in our school, I think, that help develop that culture of safety. Working with kids, even something like a friendship issue, which might seem quite small, it can often be the first instance of power and control and that sort of thing. So working with kids to have the skills to deal with those sorts of situations so that in future relationships they have strategies to negotiate out of those situations if they're feeling they're in a relationship where there is that imbalance of power or someone trying to control them.
When children are safe, when those basic needs are met, then they're able to learn well. There are obviously deep correlations between a sense of belonging and a sense of safety, and then being able to move towards those higher order things about learning and self-actualisation and being the best you can be, and then being able to be a friend. And basic to that is feeling a sense of, I'm safe here. And you can't feel you belong if you don't feel safe. If one person doesn't feel safe, they're then not able to collaborate, they're not able to work in a team, they're not able to learn from each other, they feel threatened. So child safety is about building a culture where everyone feels they have a voice.
I think it's like a really safe place here. You can talk to anyone pretty much, everybody's really close, I guess, and yeah, you can tell really any teacher because they're really helpful when it comes to it. So if you have a problem, like usually like Eileen and Roxanne are like really good ones to go to, obviously because like they're the principal and vice principal, and I think the school is like really safe, and yeah.
We at St Alipius, our staff are known by their first names. I'm Eileen, my name's Eileen, I'm Eileen. And some people think that's trendy. It's not about being trendy, it's about respect, it's about flattening power structures. It's about saying, my name's important, your name's important, we use them equally.
Well, I think that the teachers are a really well person to go to, because once you get to know them, you can trust them a lot, and you can also trust other students here once you get to know them.
It's more than child protection. You know, we used to call it child protection, but it's much more than child protection, because that disempowers, or can be seen to disempower the child. So child safety is about the child knowing that they have the right to be safe, and they have the right to be heard, and that they will be safe and that they will be heard. And if they don't feel safe, there are people who will listen to them.
So you want to be able to come to school and feel like, oh yeah, I know it's a safe place and I can come here and I can have friends and teachers that I can talk to if I don't feel safe. But overall I feel really safe here.
And so it's not just about protecting the adults, protecting the kids. It's about being a community that protects each other. St Alipius has been very much in the press as, in some ways, we've been the face of child abuse, which is a sad part of our history, a deep, dark part of our history that we don't shy away from, that we don't ignore. We cannot put that darkness in a box and have it not inform and inspire us to be better.
I think that all children have the right to be safe, and that St Alipius is a good location for your child to be safe at.
Jesus wanted us to follow in his footsteps, treat everyone equally, like how you would want to be treated. And I reckon St Alipius is a great school like that, because we all treat one another equally, like well, they're part of our family, I guess.
It's a culture you build in a school that's about inclusion, and it's about honesty, and it's about respect.